Serving 0.
This is the first serve here, Dave. 0 serve 0.
Terrible serve there from Dave.
That was short, wasn't it?
Side out.
Looked like it was good. Certainly not the way you want to start the match. Gave Nadi the easiest
0.
setup
Serving 0.
that he could have there on the return of serve.
Short.
That's Nadi's biggest weapon, Dave, is his serve. It's short on that first ball. Nadi goes to Z serve on the second serve. It's a very dangerous second serve, Dave, against Dave Chapman. He reads that ball off the right sidewall so well. He steps in and takes that ball out of the air.
0.
You know, it's nearly impossible to play that
Short.
that second shot
Heel.
when you're the server.
Second
After he's
serve.
taken that Z serve out of the air, you just don't have the time to react. By the time you turned your head around, the ball's already past you. So far, Dave, 2 side outs, both returners rolling out the serve. Here's our first rally of the match. These two have played 3 times since Dave Chapman made his comeback in 2008. Nadi winning all 3 of those matches. Nadi is one of only 2 players to have not lost to Dave Chapman since his comeback in 2008, the other being Paul Brady. Nadi has defeated Dave at the U.S. Open for 5th place.
1. Serving 0.
This tournament, Dave, in 2008 in the semifinals and then in the finals of the Alaska WPH Championship.
There's that back wall setup for Nadi. Goes down the left, slight hop.
Obviously, Dave, we heard our referee, Fred Lewis, mention that Nadi's been out of action, hurt his knee in March of 2009 in Alaska, and this is his first tournament back. Dave looking up at Fred. I think that ball was past him. Was a little bit of a shade there, but I don't think it impeded his play on the ball. Fred correctly calling that a side out.
0. Serving 1.
Score 0-1. This is the first game. 2-21, tiebreaker to 11. There's that first almost crack from Nadi Alvarado.
See Nadi taking the ball out of the air a lot more, Dave, than I'm used to seeing. I think that's going to...
Side out.
That's that gimpiness that the camera just picks up there on the right side with Nadi, but he admits
1.
that
Serving 0. Hold up.
His knee feels completely perfect.
1. Serving 0.
But you see that he's favoring it over there, Dave.
Well, it takes about a year after a surgery before you're completely comfortable. Even if it does feel perfect, you'll always have that sort of glitch. Great paddle, flat kill there from Nadi.
Nadi
Dave
Alvarado
anticipating that ball in the left corner, and Nadi sends it straight back down the left.
Nadi's been considered a pro player since about 17, and Dave Chapman about 15.
0. Serving 1.
Respectively, they're 37 and 35. And over that career, Nadi estimated that they've played in over 50 finals of tournaments where money was involved, and Chapman said it was closer to 100. These guys are really big rivals, and at least in our generation, it could very well be
1. Serving 0.
the 1 and 2 best players that we've ever seen in these tournaments.
1. Serving 0.
Nadi actually took the #1 ranking from Dave in the late 90s, briefly.
Point.
Dave told me last night he was really tired after his semifinal match, Dave. He said he hasn't felt like that in a long time. I think you'll see him in here, Dave, really pacing himself throughout this match.
2. Serving 0.
Nadi, you know, has to be a little bit sore, Dave. This is his first tournament in nearly 2 years. And you know, Dave, the difference between tournament handball and, you know, playing at the home club.
Point.
Great shot there from Dave. Nadi struggled with that back wall
3.
shot,
Serving
Dave,
0.
Those overhit ceiling balls that come off the back wall. We've seen Nadi make a lot of sort of strange hand errors.
Hold it. What? Sorry.
What was he thinking right there?
That's just a terrible call.
He said hold it so early.
Didn't wait for the play to develop. I think he thought it might have been a safety issue where Nadi was going to trip over Dave, but clearly that wasn't the case.
3. Serving 0.
That is actually the second worst call I've ever seen in my life. I keep track.
Fortunately, your memory only dates about 8 hours, and you reset.
Side out.
That was terrible.
You see Nadi shake that call off, though. We saw Nadi last night, Dave. 3 or 4 bad calls against him when he had match point. Looked like the match was
0.
over.
Serves 3.
Score is 0-3. Look at that shot right there. He fights it off and still
Side out.
hits it a couple inches high off the front wall.
Nadi's been very ineffective with his serve so far. He's hit a
Three,
couple
serve 0.
of cracks on that left side wall, but Dave's the best at digging those cracks out and putting on defense. This is the shot that I was referring to, Dave, and you see right there,
Point.
Nadi not judging that shot correctly. That ball that hits the ceiling comes off the back wall, Nadi getting himself a little bit too far away from the back wall.
4, serve 0.
We've seen him make a lot of strange hand airs, Dave, off the bottom of his hand on that very shot, and we saw it again. This is what
Point.
Dave does so well. He gets out to that early first game lead, and from there, he realizes if he's up 8-1 or 10-0, he needs to only
First
score
timeout.
11 before you score 21. That's a huge psychological barrier for the opponent and also an advantage for him. You have to wonder, Dave, we've talked about the Dave Chapman warm-up that he teaches at his camps and at his clinics. Dave goes in there, he has a very set routine that is 10 to 15 minutes long, really has himself ready to play. You see other players going in the court, very disorganized, bouncing the ball and hitting it a few times, hitting a couple balls to the ceiling, and you know, just they don't seem like they're in the flow at the beginning of a match the way Dave is, going through that extended warm-up that he's created.
The score here is 5-0. Dave Chapman is leading after that timeout call from Nadi Alvarado Jr.
Resuming play.
Time is back in now.
Score is 5, serving 0.
It's the first game of the men's finals here in Boise, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, just north of Boise.
Let's not forget, Dave, that Dave Chapman has actually won his last 4 tournaments since losing that Kansas City
5, serving 0.
KCAC 3-wall pro stop. Went on to win the Toledo 3-wall nationals, the Las Vegas. That's a great get there.
Wow,
Nadi
that was a good
skips
get
that
from
ball.
Nadi. He stayed in with that.
Excuse me, I thought that skipped, but
Side
it
is
didn't.
out.
Nadi re-kills that ball.
I'm surprised Nadi caught up to that. He
0, serves 5.
hasn't been going forward very well. I say that, but he's still in the finals.
You see Nadi going to a Z serve on his first serve there, Dave. And Dave just buries that ball into the left corner. Here's the setup. And that's the shot Dave wants.
Point.
Didn't look like he turned all the way through that shot, Dave. Got stuck there, unable to get that right hip all the way through. Came up a little bit short.
1, serving 5.
Score is 1-5.
Could be a little bit of a lactic acid buildup there in his legs. They look a little bit stiff to me right now, Dave. And now
Point.
quickly, Nadi scored 2, and he's right back in this first game. Nadi's got enough firepower, Dave, that he should be able to erase deficits
2, serves 5.
fairly quickly.
Serve down the right. Can be dangerous with a little hook.
Nadi lets that ball get a little bit
Side
behind
out.
him. That ball has that strange spin when it hits the front wall ceiling. Nadi actually hit that ball about
5, serves 2.
a foot behind him, Dave, and that's what happens. That ball will come up short the majority of the time.
Side out.
Dave not in a good position with his feet there. He hit the right shot, just a little bit clumsy with his footwork there, Dave. Misses that shot. That's a shot you'll see
2,
him
serving
make
5.
nearly 100% of the time when he's fresh. I still think Dave might be struggling a little bit with some soreness in his legs.
This is going to be a setup.
The first sign of that, Dave, is when Dave's back wall shots and dump kills are up. Generally, that's a sign that his legs are a little bit tight. You see
Point.
Dave not really moving all that well to that ball. He read that reverse, but still didn't make that extra move towards the left side wall.
3, serving 5.
This is the first game. It's 3-5 men's finals of the Jake Plummer family hell of a handball match. Looked like that was a screen.
And there's that
Side
strange
out.
hand there once again, Dave. We've seen Nadi hit that ball on the side or bottom of his hand a number of times off the back wall.
5, serving 3.
Almost like having the shanks in golf, Dave. It's just you have to wonder if that's in his head right now, that back wall shot.
Well, he did it a whole bunch of times yesterday against Luis Moreno, but still survived.
Excellent play there from Nadi.
Side
Hits that
out.
power pass behind Dave to Dave's left. Dave flips that ball up front wall, right sidewall, and Nadi comes in and just buries that fly kill straight down the right wall.
3, serving 5.
First game, 3-5, 2-21, tiebreaker to 11. Nadi Alvarado serving.
That's
Short.
short. Doesn't look like Nadi's using his legs on his serve, Dave. He's
Second.
not bending as much as I saw him yesterday.
What is Nadi trying to do with this serve right here? Because Dave's had a whole bunch of different returns.
Certainly Nadi's looking for any serve that'll get him some kind of setup. And there's that
Side out.
back wall miss hit once again. That's 5 already in this match. Nadi, Dave, on his serve, looking for anything
5, serving 3.
that'll give him an offensive opportunity.
There's a little change up from Dave Chapman on the serve.
Dave will go to 4 or 5 different serves in a match. Not really sure about that return. That's a nice ceiling shot from Nadi. Let's see what he can do with this. Nadi slowed down his swing there, Dave.
Side out.
Let that ball come out in front of him. Had to feel good to make solid contact. It wasn't a great shot there from Nadi, but good enough to earn the
3,
side out.
serving 5.
Dave misplays that ball with his backhand.
Score is 3-5. That
Short.
one was right there. Nadi might appeal it. He is. He appeals it in his own way. He just looks at the sideline ref and said to him, am I going to waste my time lifting my hand and doing the hang loose sign, or?
Second.
Sort of an unofficial appeal. Wow,
Point.
that's a smart play. Nadi set that up with the previous 5 or 6 Z serves, second serves. Took a risk there on a second serve with the reverse, straight down the right. Dave
4,
actually
serving 5.
moving to his right, but Nadi put a nice wrinkle on that ball with the reverse towards the right wall, and Dave couldn't touch it.
If you're watching at home, that's the little things that these guys do to earn extra points during a match. Look at that shot right there from Dave
Side
Chapman.
out.
That's brilliant right there.
Nadi telling himself he should have gone to the left there. He hit that ball off his back foot and tried to drive it straight down the right wall, but unfortunately
5, serving 4.
unable to put enough velocity on it. Dave re-kills it with his fist. I'm surprised that Nadi's using that return.
Point.
Nadi's got that ball with his right hand off the back wall, Dave. He really could hit any shot there. He could drive it back down the left. He could hit a 3-wall rack
6,
shot.
serving 4.
Instead, he crushes a ceiling shot.
It is. That's the second attempt.
Actually, Nadi apparently trying to hit the ceiling so
Side
the
out.
ball goes out of the court. The ceiling is about 10 feet high here, so if you really crush that ceiling shot, the ball will bounce
4,
up and go
serve
out of the
6.
court. Strange play. It's sort of a home run shot, but
It's
I
almost
don't
like
really
maybe
understand it.
it's almost maybe one of those
Point.
things that the rules committee might want to look at, because Nadi,
There are certain courts, Dave, that you lose the point if you hit the ball out of the court. We're not playing that rule here. Nadi looked really good, Dave,
5, serving 6.
on that back wall kill that we just watched. Really, his struggle is when that ball hits the ceiling and then the back wall. There's a miss hit from Nadi.
Hold it.
That's not a good call there from Fred. That ball looked like it slid right down that left side wall, and Nadi going the wrong way. I'm not sure Nadi had a good look at that ball. Surprised Dave didn't say anything.
5, serving 6.
that's the score, 5-6, first game.
Side out.
Nadi hits that ball off his back foot, Dave, and that's why you have to step into every shot. The chance of making a hand error off
6,
your back
serving
foot are a lot
5.
greater than when you're stepping into the ball, particularly with your offhand. That's a nice 3-wall wraparound shot from Nadi. Dave puts him back in the left corner. Nadi goes for
Point.
it. Nice looking swing there, Dave. He made nice contact with that ball, but just barely skipped it.
7, serving 5.
Great shot there
Side
from
out.
Nadi. Looked like Dave had Nadi in a tough spot there. Dave hitting that tomahawk fist into the left corner. Nadi moving
5, serving 7.
sharply to his right and still able to re-kill that ball. Dave not as sharp with his return of serve, Dave, since he built that 5-0 lead.
Here's a big setup for Nadi. Goes over the top of the ball, keeps it down that right wall.
You notice Nadi there actually made contact with that back wall kill pretty high, right up there between his chest and his waist, but he sort of drove that ball with a reverse about 6 inches high.
6, serving 7.
Right back down the right.
There's a crack. Dug out by Dave Chapman. Oh, that was a mishit.
Point.
That was a mishit from Nadi, but he topped it just enough that when it caught that left wall, it made it to the front.
The Alvarado fan club there in Spring Valley Lake has to be happy right now because Nadi's tied the score at 7 and really hasn't found his serve yet.
He was down 0-5, and now it's 7-7. Ball had a dead sound on the front wall.
Hold it!
Dave really not very sharp right now. Nadi's dictating play here. Dave unable to punch that ball to the ceiling, which is a shot that
7, serving 7.
most of the time he hits with his eyes closed. And there's another sort of a mistake. Nadi will go for that, and he gets it.
Point.
Nadi's one of the best shooters from the deep court in the
Time
history
out,
of the
David.
game,
That's your
Dave.
first. 1 minute.
Nadi can really take any ball, Dave, that's
Score at the timeout is 8, serving
in the deep court
7.
with either hand and roll it. Any ceiling shot that's too short, a ceiling shot that's caught the sidewall and comes out to the middle. He has the chutzpah, as we call it, also, Dave, where he can have the guts to shoot that ball at any point in the game with either hand. We saw it yesterday against Luis, just going for those deep court bombs with the game very close there at the end of both games.
You're watching the men's finals. This is the Jake Plummer Family Hell of a Handball Bash Part 2 Wph Ektelon Fireball Classic event, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, at the Peak Health and Wellness Center. If you are watching this for the first time, do tell your friends about handball. If you're a regular who tunes into the live webcast, we appreciate your patronage, your viewership. It's really nice to have you on today on this Men's Sunday Finals, live as we stream across Justin TV, courtesy of the World Players of Handball. But certainly consider buying the WPH All Access Pass
Resuming,
membership.
the score is 8, serving 7.
We will tell you more about that in just a bit. It's 8-7, first game. Nadi Alvarado serving.
Nadi's riding a 2-tournament win streak. The last 2 tournaments he played, he did win. This was one of them. The Bash of 2008, defeating Alan Garner, and also winning the WPH Alaska Championship in March of 2009.
Side out.
Dave Chapman has not beat Nadi since June of 2004 in Portland, Oregon in the national final. That was Dave's
7,
8th
serving 8.
national four-wall singles championship.
Don't forget, after that, he hurt his knee, but he also played in the Master Doubles in San Diego after that and won the 35 doubles.
Oh, I didn't know doubles was a sport.
Point.
I was talking singles.
Sorry, didn't hear you say the word singles.
It's implied.
8, serving 8.
Score is 8-8.
I only talk about pro-am doubles and mixed doubles. Dave going to a drive serve there with a little bit of a reverse on it.
Point.
That's a serve he developed playing a lot of outdoor handball, particularly one wall this summer. We saw him use that in Las Vegas this
9,
year.
serving 8.
Prefers to hit a reverse, or excuse me, a natural into that left wall. Very similar to the serve that Fred Lewis hit throughout his whole career. Freddie would hit that right-handed serve, natural, bounce it into that left wall nearly every time.
8, serving 9.
That time it was Nadi punching the ball to the ceiling and Dave making a hand error.
Oh, look at that shot right there from Nadi Alvarado. Dead center, fish shot. Score is now 9-9. This is the men's finals. 2 games to 21, tiebreaker to 11. My name is Dave Vincent.
9,
Alongside
serving 9.
David Fink here. Referee is Fred Lewis, 6-time national champion in 4-wall. at that dive right there from Dave.
Incredible.
But he misses it.
Nadi shoots that ball right in front of Dave. Dave knows that it was coming. And Nadi just rolls that ball.
One right there.
This was a problem last night, Dave. Players unable to find a towel to wipe the court.
Yeah, what's the problem is they're not prepared for, these big messes. They end up giving the players these little tiny washcloths. That just doesn't work in this sport. But beyond that, we're here at the Peak Health and Wellness with a gallery that's pretty packed. I don't know where else you can put people here, but if you look up and take a scan, Dave, you see they're on stairways and a lot of really weird nooks and crannies around here. And this place is really excited about watching this men's finals.
You've seen in the last 2 points, Dave.
Resuming, the score is 10, serving 9.
Nadi using a fist left re-kill, and then also that left fist, or that left open hand paddle shot in the right corner. Those are both shots that he's picked up just in the last year since his comeback. Hadn't seen him use those shots before, Dave. Very similar to Danny Bell. When Danny Bell got a little bit older, he said, hey, I need to change my game a little bit. I can't go out there and swing as hard as I can on every shot. Need to save some energy, and that's when we saw Danny develop those dump shots up in the front. Now Nadi using that left fist re-kill and also that left cross corner paddle kill.
Dave actually talking about that dump shot. Wait for the call
9,
from Fred.
serving 10.
And at his next Vegas camp, he's going to teach that. 9 serves 10, first game.
I'm surprised
Side
Dave
out.
missed that. Dave not moving his feet. He stood straight up there, Dave. He didn't square himself to that right corner, and he came up 2 feet short. Just
10, serving 9.
a bad air there. That's a great serve from Nadi. Dave does well and puts enough spin on that ball to put Nadi into a tough spot. And look at Nadi kill that ball from about shoulder height.
Just going over the top of that ball.
Very difficult, Dave, to hit that ball from shoulder height and stop it from bouncing into that side wall and popping it up. Takes a lot of reverse to keep that ball straight from that angle.
11, serving 9.
11 serves 9. Nadi Alvarado wearing the white shirt.
Short.
Now he really has the kind of shots that can bother Dave Chapman, because Dave keeps that ball right at chest to shoulder height on his opponents.
Second.
He knows that they're difficult for anyone to do anything with shots from there. Nadi, however, can hit winners from those spots. Not a good back wall shot there from Dave. And Dave paddle kills that ball into the
Side out.
left corner. Dave hasn't played much four-wall
9,
since the
serving
Nationals.
11.
He's played primarily outdoor, played in the one-wall Nationals, also played in 3 or 4 four-wall tournaments, or 3-wall tournaments, excuse me.
Look at
Great
that
dive there.
Misdirection, though, and then Dave had to go around him. That was a
Right out.
very athletic dive from Nadi Alvarado Jr.
We're seeing Nadi dive more than I've ever seen Nadi dive, and he's just a couple months from the arthroscopic surgery on that knee, and he's all over the court.
But you see how he dove one way, but then flipped the ball to the right, which is very hard to do from that position. And then Dave Chapman almost got to it. Dave wasn't even fooled. Maybe slightly. Now they're wiping down the floor here. You're watching the men's finals coming up a little later on. We'll have the women's finals right after this match, but then we'll get to that Pro-Am doubles, and it's going to be heated when Andy Nett and Skylar Peters get on the court to face the #1 seeds Chip Morales and Fred Schoner. There should be some excitement with that men's doubles at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. If you're watching this live webcast, please go onto your email or your social network site of choice and tell your friends to tune in and watch handball for the first time. Let's see if we can convert some of those lifetime sport lovers.
Okay, resuming, the score is 11, serving
Love
9.
us, huh?
Lovers, and get them into handball.
Okay.
11 serves 9. There's going to be a setup here if it checks up.
That's the shot Dave wants.
Side out.
He wants you to shoot that ball from 36 feet. He's waiting right on that short line to re-kill any ball that's up.
9 serves 11.
Nadi's put together that run with deep court kills. Ooh, tremendous shot there from Dave. Beautiful.
That was textbook Dave Chapman. Doesn't appear that his legs are sore on that shot, Dave.
He's been inconsistent off the back wall,
10
though, Dave.
serving 11.
And again, that could go back to playing a lot of 3-wall this season.
It's true.
Outdoor handball.
Dave told me that no one's really sharp here at this event because everyone's been playing 3-wall.
Or they've had knee surgeries. Oh, wow. Let's see what happens here.
Hold it!
Nadi wants that one back.
Disappointing there for Nadi. Gets 2 really easy setups there and is unable to win the rally.
Ten serves 11.
10 serves 11.
Like that return there from Nadi.
That's
Nadi goes for that cross corner kill, doesn't get it.
Nice
Good shot there from Dave.
Nadi catches up with it, makes a front wall.
Point.
Good shot there from Dave. Takes up all with his left so he can block Nadi out and keep him on his right hip, and then just paddles that ball straight back down the left. A lot of players, Dave, would have taken that with their right, let their opponent back into the play.
11.
There's that
Point.
Nadi with that knee where he slightly gives up just a little bit. He said absolutely he doesn't feel any pain, but you can see it, right, Dave?
Absolutely. Nadi very ginger moving forward to that ball. That ball was up.
12 serving 11.
Score is 12-11. Might want to see one of those traditional, what's become traditional in this tournament, where Nadi Jr. just hits the ball out of the court.
Tremendous shot there from Nadi. Looks like he's figured out that glitch in his swing off that ceiling back wall shot. Buries that with his left hand from 34 feet. Great shot.
11 serving 12.
Score is 11-12.
Nadi still has not hit a service winner or ace.
He did one ace to the right when he
I stand corrected.
made Chapman think he was going to do a
That was a
2-wall
second serve
Correct.
fake out.
Wow. See how Chapman really gets his body into position there.
A lot of people would wonder why would you take that ball with your right hand? But
12 serving 11.
by taking that ball with your right hand, Dave, you open up the whole court. Sort of a strange return there from Nadi. Here's a big setup. And Nadi
Side
kills
out.
it.
Isn't it nice to see Nadi back into handball? You really get to see a player that's played professional ball, and the class and sort of that that pro mentality really kind of evens out the brackets.
He's one of the great
11
players to watch.
serving 12.
Certainly one of the greats in the last 25 years of pro handball. Still incredibly fit, Dave. He's 37 years old.
Yeah, this could be the finals of the 35 Nationals right here.
These, Dave, the 2 oldest pro players entered in this draw, and they're the last 2 standing.
Dan Armijo at 48 actually entered the pro draw, sorry.
I'm a little bit off here. Stay with me, though. Make a comeback.
12 serving 12.
That's a great return from Dave.
Side out.
Thought Nadi would go back down the right there with Dave on his left. Just reacting to that fly kill right at his feet. And misses
12 serving 12.
We're all together at 12 here.
There's that big
Point.
miss hit. Dave Chapman, 5 points scored on a back wall shank from Nadi.
13 serving 12.
You know, Dave, you'd say this is exactly what you'd expect here. these two great champions playing such a competitive first game here, but really we had no idea what to expect.
Like that shot from Chapman.
Nice angle on that 3-ball shot from Nadi.
Oh, that's tough.
Point.
Nadi's seen that shot from Dave Chapman for the last 20 years. A little punch fist.
Looked like Nadi had the opportunity to turn his body there, but
14, serving 12.
looked a little hesitant to change directions there.
The ball really close to the short line, but it was over. And you hear the crowd liking what they're seeing here. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho at the Peak Health and Wellness, where
Point.
Nadi Alvarado dives in and then Dave Chapman comes in right behind him. The crowd appreciates that. They're here to watch top handball, and they're getting it with two consummate pros.
This is what can happen. We'll have
Glove
a 2-minute
change,
glove change
2
here,
minutes.
Dave. You saw Nadi really take control of that first game, trailed 5-0 and then took an 11-9 lead, so actually outscoring Dave 11-4. Now Dave back in, and he scored quickly 4 points in a row here to take a 15-12 lead. Really has taken the momentum here. He's done it on a couple of Nadi Alvarado errors and also capitalizing on a couple balls Nadi Jr. missed to the ceiling, and quickly he scored 4 points to take a 15-12 lead.
You are watching the men's finals of the Jake Plummer Family Hell of a Handball Bash Part 3 and Wph Ektelon Fireball Classic. We are live on the webcast, giving you this courtesy of the World Players of Handball. Justin TV is where we're streaming right now, so please tell your friends, your families, or even your foes. Yeah, the people that hate you, tell them about the live webcast, because even haters play handball.
How often are you talking to the people that hate you, though, on the phone?
Well, I mean, if you're going to try to promote the sport, you might as well promote it to haters and lovers and fighters. So get on the phone, get on the email, your social network sites, and send the link to this live webcast right here, and introduce maybe somebody that you've been talking to about handball to this sport as we watch the men's finals. Dave Chapman and Nadi Alvarado. This is just game number 1, and a chance to win the big money. The winner will be victorious here. For Nadi Alvarado, this is his second finals appearance out of 3 tournaments, but he only entered 2 of them, so he's back once again. He entered the first one, he won. He defeated Alan Garner in the inaugural year in 2 quick, easy games, but he didn't come back after that.
I'm following you now.
He wasn't here last year, but then he is here now.
He's never lost at this event.
That's another quick way of saying it. Something I didn't achieve. This is the first game with Dave Chapman up 15-12, I believe.
Looks like Dave's forgotten his eye guards here. That would be an immediate technical should he play a point without his eye guards. The second offense would be an immediate forfeiture. That's a rules fact.
Thank you, Tom Sove. I mean, Dave Fink.
We've been confused before.
Okay, resuming play. Score 15, serving 12.
These guys are getting old, though, Dave. You forget things like eye guards.
Both these guys, that's a great shot there from Dave.
Point.
Amazing control with that left fist. Pinches that left corner, not expecting it.
16, serving 12.
Both these guys, Dave, sporting their WPH Live game jerseys.
Point.
Another point there from Dave. Not having to work very hard for these points. Those game jerseys, Dave, available at thehandballstore.com. Incredibly comfortable shirts.
17,
dry fit
serving
material.
12.
They look good and they feel good. Nadi goes to the ceiling here. He paints that left wall. Here's a big setup. And he misses it. Mishits that ball. Dave takes control of the rally. He'll send this ball back to the ceiling into the left corner. Nadi's got a tremendous ceiling shot, Dave. With his right hand, he can drop that ball into the left corner at will. And there's that great re-kill there from Nadi. Nadi follows that natural. That ball is spinning away from him. He extends his arm out there and paddles that ball about 2 inches high to earn the side out.
12, serving 17.
The score is 12-17. Nadi Alvarado serving the first. Almost got that crack there, which he hasn't done yet this match. He did hit one, but was dug out by Dave Chapman, but he hasn't got the crack ace.
There's another miss hit there from
Side
Nadi.
out.
Really struggling with that shot, almost like a 3-foot putt, Dave. Once you miss one, the hole starts to look really small, and right now,
17, serving 12.
that shot giving Nadi a lot of problems.
Hold it. Play
That's
it
really
over.
been the big difference in this first game, Dave. Dave Chapman leading 17-12. Nadi's hit
17,
10 of those
serving
back wall shots
12.
into the ground. This could very easily be 17-12 in favor of Nadi.
I want to thank Mike Snyder from New York and Stephanie Hathaway from SoCal for watching the live webcast here. Look at that get right there from Nadi Alvarado. He's going to catch up to it, but he cannot do the Andy net and flip it back. Round of applause from the crowd here, appreciative of this action between Nadi Alvarado and Dave Chapman. My name is Dave Vincent alongside Dave Fink. Line judge is Abraham Montijo on the right side. Fergal Collins is the left side line judge, and referee is Fred Lewis. That's the crew we have for this presentation. Nadi Alvarado versus Dave Chapman. This is the first game, 2-21, tiebreaker to 11, using the Ektelon Fireball.
These guys are combined 72 years of age. Both guys hitting the floor 3 times in that last rally. Dave ending it with a great fist pass. Looks to be in complete control here, David. I mentioned earlier that Dave would pace himself in this match, and I think we've seen that. Raced off to a 5-0 lead.
18, serving 12.
Nadi outplaying him in the middle of that first game, but now it's Dave scoring 7 consecutive points. And Dave does have different gears, Mr. Vincent. He knows when to turn up the heat, and he's doing that right now. It's hot in that kitchen. That's his 8th consecutive point. Nadi doesn't seem to have any answers at this point. It's a combination right now, Dave, of Dave
19,
Chapman
serving 12.
stepping up the level of his game. Nadi also not playing quite as well as he did in the middle of that first game. We're now late in the first game. I think we can call it late. These guys have been on court for 38 minutes.
Play it again.
Guess there was contact.
19, serving 12.
There was contact between Nadi and Dave. They're replaying that. I did not see it.
I thought there might have been a slide. I'm not.
Okay. There's no arguing from Dave Chapman, though, and that's a point. Those beautiful hands from Dave. We see that on a 3-wall court. It doesn't really matter if it's 3 or 4 wall. He has that shot.
It seems like the outdoor game has really taken Dave's game back to that level we saw him in 2004.
20, serving 12.
He's seeing the ball better and taking the ball out of the air much more effectively than he has at any point in his comeback. And that's the first game right there. Dave
First
Chapman
game,
scoring
5 minutes.
the last 10 points of that first game and really in cruise control now, Dave. Nadi will